What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are going to be doing the UFC 316 pressure rankings. This is a series that I've had on this channel for a while. It took a little bit of a hiatus because some of the cards were just not the best. Like, I didn't do it for 312. I think I did it for 313. I was away for 314 and 315. I don't even remember if I did it or not. I think that card was just cheeks, so I couldn't be bothered. But we're bringing it back for this card and the upcoming cards going forward. And I might even bring it back for some of the fight nights coming up, because we even have some fight nights with some high stakes. If you don't know what we're doing here, I'm basically talking about every notable fighter on the card, or every fighter on the card that I can think of some meaningful stakes for them with a win or with a loss. What is on the line here in their contests coming up this weekend? So you guys let me know in the comments, who do you think is under the most pressure to win their fight? Who do you think there isn't as much pressure on? If you enjoy this type of video and you want me to keep doing this series, I usually do it the day before fight day. And yeah, I can keep that going, so let me know. Also, like and subscribe and shit. My last video, spent about 4 hours making that shit. And it's 10 out of 10 on views on my channel, meaning it's the worst viewed video on my channel in my last 10 uploads. So, you know, you love to see that when I'm up at 5 AM recording some bullshit, because I thought people would like that, but no one fucking watched it, so that was unfortunate. But anyway, hopefully this video gets more than fucking 1,000 views. Anyway, see ya. No, what do you mean see ya? I'm fucking starting the video. Now let's get underway. Next up, we got, starting off, I should say, we got Merab Dvalishvili, the reigning defending bantamweight champion. Obviously it's a title fight, there's crazy stakes, and I would say Merab is under a similar amount of pressure to what Belal was going into his fight with JDM. I would say Merab slightly less so, because he at least does have a win over O'Malley already, and Merab has managed to actually sort of give himself some grace with the fans, create a bit of a fan base for himself, which Belal just was unable to do for obvious reasons. But no, Merab with a loss here, look, it'll be a road back to a title for sure. I highly doubt they just give this dude. Dana's gonna go to press conference, but what's the question? Trilogy? Yeah, no fucking chance, kid. We're giving Merab a fucking Vinicius Oliveira in the Apex. 1 round fight, so we can't fucking win. Like, that's what they're gonna be doing with fucking Merab after this. So like, they're not gonna give him a trilogy unless it's legitimately like a robbery. And even then, I think they'd be more likely to just try and give O'Malley something else, a more favourable matchup. They probably just want some fun bantamweight title fights. Like, you can run O'Malley yarn. They might try and get Sandhagen in there. They might try and get Umar in there, because that would be a pretty good storyline. But no, I would say Merab, with a win, obviously he's looking to just continue cementing himself amongst the bantamweight greats. I have him as the bantamweight GOAT. If he loses here, that takes a hit. He would then really need to rebound and maybe even win the belt back to secure that #1 spot. With a win here, I think it's undoubtable. He would just have a leaps and bounds better resume than Dominic Cruz, Aljamain Sterling, TJ Dillashaw, any of the other champions before him. So lots on the line for Merab. Definitely needs to get the win here this weekend. Let's move on though to his opponent and the man who's challenging for the title, Sean O'Malley. O'Malley's trying to get the belt back, and he's trying to not go 0-2 to Merab, because he can say that his loss to Cheeto, the first one, didn't really count. He won that one back. He got that back. He lost legitimately 100% fair to Merab in the first fight, but he'll tell you he was injured, which he probably was. He had a torn labrum in his hip. That's obviously going to make it difficult to perform well, to be able to train well. So he needs to really go out there this weekend and win to prove that he wasn't at his best, and to prove that first loss could be maybe even taken with a bit of a grain of salt, and just say, this is what I look like at my best. If he is able to win by a TKO or a dominant decision, for instance. So O'Malley's definitely trying to win, and if he loses, he's kind of just stuck in no man's land at bantamweight. Like, what do you do with O'Malley if he loses? Like, you can always run the yarn fight back, that'd be fun. But like, while Merab's champ and he's 0-2, he's got no real future at a title shot, which I imagine O'Malley's not trying to fight contenders. Like, O'Malley's trying to be a champion, or probably to dip, because he's set himself up well. So if he does lose, I could definitely see O'Malley moving up to 45. That's something I could see. If he wins, obviously, he needs to get that belt back, try and start up another reign, or, yeah, just overall avenge that loss on his record. So high stakes in the main event. It does feel like a little bit just because the fight's already happened, so it's not like, oh my god, we've never seen this before. Both guys undefeated in their last 20 fights, both like not pound for pound number one versus pound, none of that. It's just kind of like Merab's trying to get another title defense, and probably, even though he did beat O'Malley the first time, I still would say O'Malley is like his most, and Umar, the fight was closer than the O'Malley one, but I still think O'Malley is the more dangerous fight in terms of, like, I don't think Umar will finish Merab, and I don't think you can beat Merab by decision. I just don't think that can happen. So if maybe O'Malley fucking wins by decision, but I think O'Malley's the only guy who can actually KO Merab, which in my opinion is the one way you would beat him. Anyway, though, let's move on to the co-main event. Co-main event, the champion Juliana Pena. I mean, it's women's MMA. The stakes are just not usually there. But this is one fight that is somewhat interesting in terms of Pena kind of fucking lost to Raquel Pennington and didn't deserve to win the belt at all. And she sort of fluked her first title win against Nunes as well, with literally the most compromised version of Nunes you'll ever see in your life. Genuinely, I think I would have been able to beat that version of Nunes that fucking showed up in the cage at UFC 269, and I would be able to beat both versions of Juliana Pena that showed up in both of their fights, to be honest. And again, that's not me saying much of my fighting skill. I've watched footage of myself spar, and I do this thing called not running in, throwing arm punches with your eyes closed. So that being said, I think I am a better striker than Juliana Pena. But regardless, her against Kayla Harrison, she's expected to get fucking dog walked, and she's like a plus 600 underdog. So if she wins, it's just like, alright, fuck it, this bitch is just the Tyrese Halliburton of fucking women's MMA. Like, she is the Haliban of the women's bantamweight division, just fluking bullshit. That just, you're like, how? Like, how'd you beat fucking Nunes? How'd you beat Kayla Harrison? Similar to fucking, how the fuck are you just hitting game winners against everyone? I go for OKC, by the way, in case you didn't know. So Halliburton is on a number one hate watch list. But regardless, the Haliban. Anyway, yeah, Pena's expected to lose. It's not going to be devastating for her career. She's not got some insane legacy that she's trying to protect. She's literally got a fucking Michael Johnson record. She's like 14-10 or some shit. I'm probably making that up. But she's got a mid-ass record. She's lost a bunch. She's not very good. And if she wins, it's kind of just like she just prevents Nunes from coming back, because I don't think Nunes cares to come back and trilogy Pena when she 50-43'd her. Anyway, though, let's move on to the challenger. Kayla Harrison, actually big stakes for her, because she basically walked away from the PFL, where she was probably going to be able to just keep fighting in PFL tournaments for $1 million guaranteed, fighting at whatever weight she was at, 145, 155, not killing herself to fucking make the weight. And then she walked away from that to come to the UFC, definitely took a pay cut, I would imagine, unless the UFC just viewed her as that valuable, which I doubt. I would be shocked if they were paying her anywhere close to $1 million a fight. But she needs to win here, she needs to win the belt, and she needs to set up that fight with Amanda Nunes, which is really the only way she's going to get that ultimate credit. Because you can come to the UFC and beat Holly Holm, and you can beat Ketlin Vieira, and you can beat Juliana Pena. And you can be a champion, and you'll be like, alright, cool. But Nunes is clearly the best women's bantamweight ever. Accomplishment-wise, she's in UFC champion, like championship reign-wise. And if you don't beat her, then that's when it starts. So the pressure on Kayla is really to get the win here, to then set herself up to really get that legacy fight with Nunes, to if she can actually cement herself as one of the greatest bantamweights of all time. And yes, even though she hasn't fought half of her fucking career at bantamweight, just in a short stint with the UFC, like 2 fights, a title fight, and then defending against Nunes, would probably put her up there. Obviously, championship reign-wise, I can't imagine she sticks around for much longer, killing herself to make 35. I could see, God forbid, the UFC just doing a one-off, like, featherweight title fight with them. Like, if the first fight is not just a complete wash, like, if Nunes wins, they won't care. But if Kayla beats Nunes, they might be like, oh, look, it's a featherweight title, and just try and create another title in women's MMA, and just be like, can Kayla take both of Nunes' belts? Even though you'd imagine if she beat her at 35, she'd beat her at 45. I could see Dana pulling some bullshit like that. Anyway, I'm talking about WMMA stakes. I need to get a life. Let's move on. Next up, Joe Salty Man Pyfer. I have been highly enjoying MMA media members just taking the piss out of Joe Pyfer this weekend. We had that guy who mid-interview was just like, I'm kind of hungry, and starts eating a fucking burrito. We had a guy in the media day say to him that his hairline transplant was actually the biggest comeback in UFC history. And there was some other bullshit as well. And he is not liking it. He is the most salty of salty men. Not even rivaled. I would have said Holland is the only man rivaled, and it's by Pyfer. Pyfer exceeds the salt levels of Kevin Holland. Is Rampage still in the UFC? No, get off his dick then. Thank you, and just slams the mic and just walks away, ends the fucking interview after 10 minutes. But I'm very much enjoying Pyfer just be instigated by these fucking goofballs, by these random ass like social media MMA people who are just taking the piss. It's very enjoyable, but he definitely needs to win because he's been talking a whole bunch of shit about Mexico, about pretty much just Mexico, just about everyone. Like, this dude just shit talks everyone. He shit talked Bo Nickel a bunch, which we can support, but also, like, buddy, calm down, you lost to Jack Manson. I would argue that losing to Jack Manson by decision is kind of a worse look than getting finished by Dorito, honestly, at this stage of their careers. But regardless, we'll see how Hermanson looks when he comes back in a few weeks. But Pyfer, yeah, he needs to win for sure, because if you're talking all that and you're being that fucking unlikable and just that much of a cunt, you gotta win and you gotta back it up. Anyway, let's keep it moving to the next fighter. Kelvin Gastelum. Man's about to show up, and fuck, by the time this video, I'm pre-recording this video way ahead of time because I gotta go do some other shit and I want to get a video out for you because I'm not trying to leave that 10 out of 10 video as the most recent thing in my algorithm because otherwise my channel's cooked for like 2 days until I can upload my recap. So that's why I'm getting this video out for you. But Kelvin Gastelum's probably going to blow weight by like 10 pounds at middleweight and get cut from the sport. But no, if he does win, that's good for him. If he loses, he's probably borderline getting cut just because he's like not cut, but like they just kind of urge him to go like, oh, you fuck off somewhere else. We're not going to have you just randomly like being some unprofessional fuck and just missing weight and blowing up to middleweight and just being shit. Like, he's just not that much of a valuable commodity to have around at this point, in my opinion. Anyway, let's move on. So he definitely needs to try and win here, or at least put up a good fight. Like, if he gets just smoked in the first round, I could see him getting the walking papers. Maybe they give him one more against some bum, or they feed him a prospect, like they give him like a Guttier. I could really see that. I could see them doing if he gets killed by Pyfer, I could see them saying, oi, we'll give you one more fight, sink or swim, we're giving you a Tiba Guttier after he beats Valentin. That's like a type of thing I could see them doing with him, because they're not just going to like, oh, we'll give you Jack Hermanson, he lost to him already, we'll give you Robocop, like, we'll give you some other just random guy, like, they'll give him a Bakoev, or they'll give him a fucking Gautier, they'll give him some sort of prospect, otherwise he's cooked. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. Patchy mixed this blank fucking silhouette. They haven't updated his UFC picture. Fucking $1 billion company, by the way. Patchy mixed lots of pressure. I'd say outside the main event, this is probably the most stakes on the card. Especially, like, this fight in general has a lot of stakes, but him individually, Patchy Mix, has hella stakes. Because if he loses this, it's kind of like you've been talking yourself up. You've been saying, I'm already a top 3 fighter. I'm already the best bantamweight in the world. I've already proved that, but I guess I'll come over here and officially prove it, I guess. And if he loses to fucking Mario Bautista, that's going to be a terrible look for him. Like, that'll basically just prove, like, oh yeah, you're kind of a bum, kid. Like, yeah, Bellator's kind of a fucking absolute tomato can fucking pit over there. If you're a long rating fucking 20-1 fighter and you come over and lose to Bautista. So he definitely needs to win if he wants any future of challenging for the belt or being UFC champion. We'll talk. He'll have one more after that, I would imagine. I can't, unless he kills Bautista in the first round. We can all pray. Then I just can't see them giving him a title shot. So he'd need one more. That's when we'll really get the test. That's when we'll see him against a Yarn or a Sandhagen or an Umar or or even an O'Malley if O'Malley loses in the main event. Let's move on though to the next fighter. Next up, Mario Bautista, the man, the myth, the legend. No, the opposite of all of those things. This human gremlin. Mario Bautista, I hope he gets KO'd. I don't even care about the stakes. The stakes is the thing that he's going to be getting fucking burned at this weekend with the fucking tomatoes thrown at his face. Yeah, I don't know. Mario Bautista, fuck him, yeah? Little bum. Little Malteser here. Fat nobody. Fat fuck. Anyway, yeah, I hope we will be hate watching Bautista this weekend. Anyway, let's move on. I'm going to skim through some of these. Next up, Kevin, 45-70 Holland. I mean, Holland just needs to, like, there's never really stakes for Holland, I guess. Like, The Gunnar Nelson fight was kind of stakes, because it's like, yeah, if you lose to Gunnar Nelson, you're cooked. Luke's ranked. It's not disastrous, but he's a pretty big favourite. And if he wants to even be remotely considered a top 15 fighter, you gotta kill Luke at this stage. Like, you gotta run over Luke, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens with Kevin Holland. Again, another man who's just getting rage baited at media, which is fun to watch. Him and Pyfer need to get... I know Holland should stay at welterweight. I'm not opposed to sending Holland up to middleweight just so he can rage bait both of them. These two would just go rage bait for rage bait. They'd go band for band on rage baiting each other at press conferences / media days. And the media would just instigate both of them. And just make up lies. Pyfer, do you know what a 45-7 is? That makes me mad. That pisses me off. And then Pyfer's just going to go off on his little salty man rant. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, Vicente Luque. Luque, is there ever stakes for Luque? I mean, he's just old, and he's not old, he's just like potentially washed. So if he gets KO'd here, not a great look. That kind of relegates him to the back end, like welterweight segment with the Burnses, with the Wonder Boys, with the Colbys, with the fucking Kiestas, like all those guys. That's kind of the Magnies. That's where he sort of ends up with a loss here, in my opinion. But I don't think he has title hopes. I don't think he has top 5 visions, top 10 visions even. So there's not much for Luque to be worried about this weekend. Anyway, let's move on to the prelims. Hey, let me talk about this kid, Joshua Van. Kid's an absolute fucking savage. Josh Van's my boy. We will be rooting for Josh Van this weekend. And we will be betting our entire bank account balance on him at -700 to beat Bruno Silva. This card's odds are actually pissing me off, bro. I'm going to just read them out real quick, because the betting capabilities on this card are actually nuts. Like, if you just like safe bets, parlay like four or five like big favourites together that you think are going to win, you've definitely got a large fucking selection of big favourites to choose from. But like, bro, there's 2 fighters below -200, I think, or maybe 3. Merab's -2. This is on my bookie. Merab's -275. Kayla's -800. Pyfer's -400. Mix is -190. Holland's -220. That's the lowest you can find Holland. He's like -250 in most places. Josh Van's -550, -600. Again, that's the lowest you can find him. He's more like -600. So -550, whatever. Mirzakhanov is -620. Sergey Spivak Acosta, that's like the one that's the one fight where the favourite is under -150. Chaos Williams -190. Medeiros -200. Wang Kong's like -550. Ju Sang Yu's -600. Quillen Salkill's -590. I can't be asked. Like, because I'll parlay all the big favourites and fucking one of them will get chinned. Like, one of them will lose. So you just can't know which one. Like, who's going to choke? In the comments, out of these big favourites, so I'm talking Pyfer, Kayla Harrison, Joshua Van, Mirzakhanov, Wang Kong, Ju Sang Yu, and Quillen Salkild, which one of those is going to lose? One of them's going to, because I already know there's going to be some big-ass upset on this card. Anyway, though, let's keep it moving. Our Joshua Van, the stakes for Van, I guess, it's just, you don't want to have another loss. We excuse the loss to Charles Johnson, because he kind of just got caught. He was looking good in that fight, and then he bounced back, and he's got 3 wins since then. But if he loses to 35-year-old Bruno Silva, it's not a great look. But never fear, that will not happen. Let's move on, though. Bruno Silva, this man's getting victimized. I'm not even going to talk about him. We just know what's going to happen. He's going to be getting pieced up. He's going to be getting TKO'd in round 3. And that's what we're going to enjoy watching this weekend. Let's move on, though, to the next fighter. Azamat, the professional Mirzakhanov boss man, is about to sell me a kebab for $12.49. Don't worry, my friends. You pay me back next time. That's Azamat Mirzakhanov. I feel like he's that taxi driver. He's that local fucking milk bar owner, local souvlaki store owner. He's just a good guy, you know. He's the professional. He's professional in all aspects of life. He's not been winning any bodybuilding competitions, but let me not get you mistaken. Don't be mistaken. This man is an absolute fucking savage. Who's messaging me? This kid's an absolute fucking marauder. Kid's gonna fucking KO Brenson Haberio in the first round. Look, he is fighting back after he was gonna get Johnny Walker, and now it's like, okay, well now you're fucking fighting an unranked dude coming off like 1 win over like a bum. So that's a tough look. If he loses, but if he wins, it's like cool. You just KO him in the first round. Anyway, let's move on. Brenson Haberio, who the fuck cares? No one cares, I'm just including him. Sergey Spivak. Spivak actually does kind of need a win here, because he's been trading win-loss, win-loss. He's coming off a loss. So he needs to win. You can't go 0-2, otherwise you're relegated to outside the top 10. Because he's number like 7 or 8 right now. If he loses to fucking Waldo Cortez Acosta, Salsa Boy, it might be raps for Sergey Spivak. He's probably getting the fucking fight night main event against Mario Pinto in his next fucking fight. Let's be honest. That's a badass fight, kid. How can you not make that fight? Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Waldo Cortez Acosta is trying to basically just prove that he's ranked like top 10 caliber. We know he's top 15. That's a low bar. That bar's fucking the same height of the ground as fucking Bruno Silva's midget ass. Like, that bar is low. Like, super low. To be a top 15 heavyweight, all you have to do is just not be morbidly obese. And even Ty has managed to still find himself clinging onto a ranking on a 5-fight losing streak, carrying a fucking mass of about 600 kilos. But yeah, this kid Waldo, he's trying to break into the top 10. He already lost to Delima, so if he loses to Spivak, I would say that pretty firmly cements him as a not top 10 caliber guy, which he obviously wouldn't want. Anyway, let's move on to the next fight. We got these fucking bums. Chaos Williams, yeah, probably don't want to lose to a debuting guy. Keep the win streak going. Gustafsson, you want to make an impressive debut, look good, obviously. You don't want to get chinned, which he's probably going to. Wang Kong, though, does have stakes kind of every time she fights after that Fernandez loss, because we kind of write it off as she was tuning her up, she was looking good, she got caught. If she loses again, it's probably tough scenes. You probably shut the door on her being able to make the rankings at this stage. Anyway, let's keep it moving. Next up, Quillen Salkild, again, prospect status. I'm not talking about everyone, bro, I'm sorry. Mark Chawinski and Markel Medeiros are not getting a feature on this video. Apologies. Please don't unsubscribe if you were expecting that. Quillen Salkild, though, he's a big prospect, or he's hyped up at least. Young guy, definitely wants to keep that win streak going. You know, you beat an Indian already, you're trying to beat an Israeli. Who does he need? Who can we give him? We need a Dagestani to complete the fucking trilogy of this man beating the most hated societal groups in the world. And then we give him just a hood black guy, I guess. Just an obnoxious fucking black dude. He can fight McKinney after that. Anyway, let's move on to the final fighter. Final fighter, Jeka Saragi. This kid's a bum. He's probably fighting for his job. Man's been finished by Anshul, Jubilee, and Weston Wilson. I don't care how much, like, DEI they're trying to, like, bro, the official UFC page, like, the actual number, like, actual full UFC page, not like UFC Asia or some shit. The full UFC page posted this man's fight announcement when he was fighting Weston Wilson. Like, they were really trying to get behind this guy. Because, like, oh, we have no Indonesian talent, so we're going to try and force one of them to be good, and he's just not. So, yeah, he's probably fighting for his job here. Anyway, that'll do it, guys. No feature for his opponent, no feature for fucking, you know, Ashmuz. A few other guys I left off, but you guys, I'm sure you can understand. Anyway, that'll do it. Like and subscribe. Drop some video ideas you guys want to see next week after the recap. I'm going to do a card builder for the UFC Mexico fight, or not even Mexico now, UFC Noche San Antonio fight night. After that, maybe a week, I might do a joint video for that and Paris, just because card builders usually do shit views, so I don't want to do 2 of them and kill my algorithm, so I'll probably just merge those 2 into one. Anyway, without further ado, the fucking video is done. Goodbye.